Hey everyone, Taco here and I hope you're doing well. And in this video, we'll be talking about Puerto Madryn, the port of call that I had on my 14-night Antarctica cruise aboard the Celebrity Eclipse. On the first day of arrival at Puerto Madryn, Argentina, our first port of call excursion was to Peninsula Valdez. On the second day of our time in Puerto Madryn, Argentina, we took a second excursion, and that was to the Punta Tombo Penguin Rookery. This excursion is a 6 to 7 hour tour to the largest Magellanic Penguin colony in South America, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe is the largest penguin colony outside of the Antarctica area. The ride to the rookery is approximately 2.5 hours one way on both paved and gravel roads. Be on the lookout for sheep and guanaco as you pass by the barren landscapes of northern Patagonia. We registered for this tour using a third-party company, shoreexcursionsgroup.com, because it was more than half the price of what Celebrity Cruises was offering the same tour for, and this was by far the highlight excursion of our trip to Puerto Madryn, Argentina. Now, because we registered to this excursion using a third-party company, we had to walk the length of the pier to get to the bus before our departure. Since the excursion was to depart right at 7:30 in the morning, we had to wake up a little bit early, get dressed, get ready, eat breakfast, and make sure we had enough time to walk the pier to the bus. Now, having experienced a 2.5 hour drive on gravel road the prior day, we knew exactly what to expect for this drive. While the drive itself goes through similar landscapes, it's the guide's character that really shines through this point as they try to explain to you the geography and the different wildlife that you may encounter during that day. Once you enter the Punta Tombo Penguin Rookery, you'll first stop at a building for a bathroom break and to buy your entrance tickets. If you're part of a tour, your tour guide will most likely buy your tickets for you. After the bathroom break, you have to make sure to get back onto the same bus, because then that bus will actually drive a minute away to a separate parking lot where you can exit and finally start the tour. The Penguin Rookery is home to more than 1.5 million Magellanic penguins and is the largest colony of Magellanic penguins in South America and possibly the world as well. The 1-kilometer boardwalk stretches from the parking lot straight to the observatory deck at the ocean, and you can see penguins left, right, and center all along the boardwalk as you walk there. It is truly a sight to be seen, and one where you will be sure to stop in your tracks at the first sighting of these cute flightless birds. By February, the penguin chicks have considerably grown up, with many of them molting. You'll see a lot of patches on many penguins as they start to grow their adult plumage. They are nevertheless so cute that you can't help but stop at every nearby sighting. You are reminded to keep at least 2 meters away from them as to not affect their behavior. However, there are many cases where they will start walking right in front of you, in which case you can just stop where you are and enjoy the close encounter. There are also many guanaco roaming the area, so be sure to catch them in action if you weren't able to on the bus ride in. We had approximately 2 hours to spend at this rookery, and that meant about 1 hour going to the ocean observatory and 1 hour back to the bus. However, I ended up taking about 1.5 hours just to get to the ocean observatory, which meant I only had 30 minutes to boot it back along the entire trail boardwalk to the bus, hoping that they did not leave me behind. Now, this ocean observatory, I wasn't aware of this at first, so had I been more aware of this observatory at the end of the boardwalk, perhaps I would have managed my time a little bit better. Now, since this observatory deck is elevated, you're not entirely close to the penguins, but you do get a great overview of the general area. Now, while I did speed walk my way on the boardwalk back to the bus, I could not help but still stop at the sightings of these penguins waddling towards you, and it's like they were all commuting to go to work or something. It was so very cute. And if you're lucky, you might even see some couples enjoying the company of each other. Just try not to be the third wheel and observe them from afar. The bus ride back takes about the same time, so we ended up returning to the pier at about 1 to 2 hours before the ship's departure, which meant we had a little bit of time to enjoy the beachfront area of Puerto Madryn. Since our tour was booked through a third-party company, the final destination of our bus was at the start of the pier. But if you did book directly from Celebrity Cruises itself, then they would actually take you straight to the gangway, so you did not have to walk that entire length of the pier. Now, the drawback to this is you might miss chance sightings like these sea lions enjoying the comfort of metal stairs. Now, if you haven't guessed already, overall I love this excursion to Punta Tombo Penguin Rookery. If you only had time for one excursion at Puerto Madryn and you wanted to see penguins, then this is by far the one excursion that I highly recommend you do. With upfront access to these cute flightless birds, it's a treat to be able to see them up so close. The 1 kilometer route makes sure that you'll always see these penguins in different views, and making it even more ideal to see them in different scenarios. Spend your time wisely and make sure you have ample time to take in the entire route, and you will be sure to have a great time at the Punta Tombo Penguin Rookery just outside of Puerto Madryn, Argentina. And that's it for this excursion. Have you been to Puerto Madryn before? What did you do? Did you go see the penguins at the Penguin Rookery? Or maybe you did something else? Feel free to let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And let me know if you have any questions as well. Now, don't forget that you can read all of this on my blog at www.smaku.com with a boatload of pictures. And if you haven't already done so, be sure to watch my video on the full review of the 14-night Antarctica cruise aboard the Celebrity Eclipse. And I do have my other videos on all the other protocols that I did during this cruise as well.